So, hello, welcome. This is the Asking for More podcast. And I want to introduce myself. My name is Mazarine Trace. And over the last several years during COVID, I've really come to understand that we are not asking for enough, either from our jobs or from our relationships or from ourselves. And so the goal of this podcast is to help you find out what would be like to be comfortable and in your body enough to ask for 100% of what you want. And today's episode is going to be talking about specifically asking for more in your consulting business. So last year I did a presentation on this for Nonprofitist, and it was transformative for so many people. And one of the things that we start out with as consultants is asking ourselves, how much is my work really worth? And can I really charge what I want to charge? If you don't know how much to charge, that's something to think about as well. One of the things you should be thinking about is that inflation made the price of everything rise by 6% last year. So if you're not asking for more now, you really, really should be in your consulting business. There's so many things I could say about it. One of the things that has helped me the most is to think about, how do we actually start to feel like we're able to ask? And the way we do that is to get connected with our desires. So every day I write out my desires. And if you haven't yet tried this, I encourage you to just take 5 minutes and do it. Take 5 minutes and ask yourself, what do I truly desire? Because a lot of times we don't ask because we're not connected to our desires, or we're afraid what's going to happen if we ask and we don't get it. We're afraid we're going to ruin relationships. We're afraid that we're going to basically destroy our lives. And it's not true. It's never true. Asking is neutral. Asking is neutral. People have a choice to say yes or no. And if you try to make that choice for them, that's really not respecting their autonomy or their freedom. You can absolutely ask for what you want, and it's their responsibility to say no or yes. And if you're worried that that means that they're going to think that you're not going to like them if they say no, there's one way to figure that out. Ask them, this isn't going to change our relationship, but I want to ask you, could you do this for me? Or could you do that for me? Or would you give me this or that? So asking for more in your consulting business is tricky because other people are going to be like undercutting your prices. So you think you don't know how much other people charge. And so it's up to you to figure out inside yourself, what do I feel my work is worth? And how does it help people? And how does it help them save money or make more money or have better working relationships that ended up being really good for the organization, whatever that is. So you should already have those testimonials. If you don't, you should start collecting them. And if you know that you got results in a previous job, if you're a new consultant and you don't have any results yet in your consulting business, you can look back to the results that you got in your previous job. So for the last 12 years, I haven't always been very diligent about collecting testimonials, but I do have them now. And they're fantastic. You can check out my testimonials page if you want to see what some good testimonials look like. mazarinetrace.com/testimonials, or you can look at my LinkedIn. I also have quite a few testimonials there as well. And you can also look at my YouTube because I have video testimonials too. So think about who your favorite clients are and what they say about you, and then ask them to just write a little something about you or write it for them and ask them to edit it. That often really works well. But when you're thinking about asking for more in your consulting business, it's not just about money. It's about asking your clients to step up into their vision for their lives and not just play small anymore. So when you're asking for more for yourself, you're also asking them to be comfortable with getting uncomfortable, with being like, oh, how does this ask feel in my body? Like, can I see this person valuing themselves more, and can I also value myself more? So when you ask for more, it often brings up stuff in your clients too. It's important though to really acknowledge what your basic desires are. Like for me in a relationship, the most important things are physical intimacy and emotional intimacy. Those are the things that I'm fighting for. Those are the things that I want. And a lot of times we can get caught in what we don't want. And so we'll be mad that our clients aren't paying us enough, but we're not going to tell them, or we'll not have agreements that are transparent and good for our business, and we need to make them, but we're angry that we don't have those yet. So a lot of what this podcast is about and what we're going to keep talking about is little simple things you can do today to ask for more. So I already gave you the exercise of writing down your desires. Once you've done that, look them over. Is there something there that someone could do for you? That's really not that big of a deal to ask for. Like maybe you want to ask someone to drive you to the store. Maybe you want to ask somebody to go pick up something for you. Maybe you want to ask somebody to help you out in some way. There's this wonderful book called True Wealth, which talks about how in people's lives, when they get a lot of money, it actually doesn't make them happier. They think it will, and to a point it does, but then after that point it doesn't. And what really makes people happier is spending more time with friends and family, and more time in intimacy, and more time with doing their free time, whatever that is. So you can ask for things that are not money. You can have a day where you don't have meetings, and you can just block that day off and say, this is my gift to myself. And you can ask your clients to not schedule meetings on that day too, right? That's an ask you can make. You can make another ask about simply being, just getting yourself more organized as a business, and say, I'd like you to pay me this way. Don't pay me in checks, pay me this way or that way, right? And have it be a process that is automated so that neither you nor your client have to think about it. You can ask other consultants for referrals. A lot of us hesitate to do this. A lot of us don't do this. We can ask other consultants for not just referrals, but referral fees. So say, hey, I'll give you 20% of this business, whatever it is. We should be starting to think about this as we move forward in 2022 and beyond, because this is a way for us to all support each other more and make it lucrative for us to give each other business. So yeah, I'm not good at everything. I'm sure you're not good at everything. And one of the gifts you can give to your clients is knowing exactly what you're really, really good at and what you're not good at, and referring them to other people that are good at that thing if they need it. So when we talk about satisfaction, happiness, coming back to that again, if you have a community of folks that you're around, that you love, and you have enough free time, and you have enough money, it almost doesn't really matter if you have 100,000 or 200,000, for example. So if that's the case, then as a consultant, what does that tell you? Does that tell you that people are interested in you because of all the money you can make them? Or are they interested in you because they like hanging out with you and they think that this is time well spent no matter what you do? I think it's really the latter rather than the former. And so a lot of what being in businesses and being in workplaces is, and being in relationships, is about being a good friend. And so being able to ask people for support when you need it shows them that you trust them enough and that you'll be there for them too. So a lot of things that we have chosen to do under capitalism and modern society is be very individualistic. Under white supremacy, that's one of the tenets of it. And also very, be like, I don't need anyone, and that can also be a trauma response too, right? So building a stronger community for yourself, for your clients, it's one of the things that's going to sustain you. And one of the ways we do that is asking people to do stuff for us and asking them if they need us to do stuff for them. So you might say, hey, I need people to send me referrals, and you can just start talking to folks. You might say, I need recommendations for a good restaurant, and ask folks. You can be like, I need. And people will be like, wow, she's really asking for a lot. That inspires me to ask for more as well. We often just don't think about what we could ask for until we start writing down our desires. And then we start realizing, oh, there's a lot of things that I want. There's so many things that I want. And a lot of times what I can get is based on the community that I'm with. So that's the exercise I'm going to leave you with today. Write down all of your desires and let me know how it goes.